Hi, welcome to Dark Dragon Does Math. Today, we're talking about real-world inequality equations. It is a fancy way of saying we're going to do word problems with inequalities. So, before we begin, let's talk about a few words. Specifically, at least, no less than, greater than or equal to. If you see any of those three words, that means the symbol needs to be that. Had to think about it for a second. That one right there. So basically, what you don't know, if x is at least y, that means it is greater than or equal to y. At most, no more than, less than or equal to, means that x is at most or less than, but it could be equal to y. More than means that x is greater than y. And less than means that x is fewer, smaller than y. So please refer to that table when you are confused about which inequality you will need. So more than that, let's talk about these problems. So this one right here, the average of 70, 75, 83, and 80, and a fifth number is at least 80. Describe the value of the fifth number. So this is cool. Let's even put more context to the question. Let's say that if you don't make, you have 5 grades for 9 weeks, and that's it. And if you don't make a B average, you're going to get grounded. In the only grades you got a 70 on one, 75 on the other, 83 on the third, and then an 80 on the fourth. So what do you need to get on the last one in order to get a B, to get an 80 and not be grounded? So we need to find the average. Remember, to find the average, you add all the values up. And the one we don't know, we're going to call x. And you're going to divide by the total number of values. There's 5 values here, so we're going to divide by 5. And that needs to be at least 80. So at least, that was this one. That means that this has to be greater than or equal to 80, right? Okay. So the first thing I want to do to solve is I'm going to go ahead and add these numbers up. And I've already done that, thankfully. So when I add all those together, I get 308 plus x is equal to 5. Remember, that's greater than or equal to 80. The next thing I want to do is I want to get that 5 off the bottom. That's dividing the whole thing, but again, it's dividing. And to get rid of it, we need to do the opposite of it. Let's multiply. Let's multiply both sides by 5. So that'll cancel out. I get 308 plus x is greater than or equal to 8 times 5 would be 40. So this is 80 times 5. I got that extra 0, 400. Finish by getting x alone. Let's subtract 308 from both sides. I get x is greater than or equal to 400 minus 308 is 92. So in this context of the question itself, the fifth number is 92, but let's go back to our little test. I have to get a 92% in order to get an 80 and not be grounded. The fifth number is 92. Alright, I'm going to do something I have not done. Because I want you guys to do well on this. You can kind of check yourself before you get to class, because the answer is 94. You're welcome. Alright, Kelly goes to an amusement park. The admission fee to the amusement park is $4. She needs $4 to get in. Once she's inside, she can ride a bunch of rides, but each one of them costs 80 cents, or $0.8. If Kelly only has $25, how many rides can she ride? So Kelly can't spend more than 25, because if she does, she is broke. And you can't spend money you don't have, unless it's on a credit card, and That's not smart. So Kelly has $25. She's going to pay $4 to get in, and the total amount of money that she spends is going to be like the $4 to get in plus the 80 cents per ride. So anytime you see the words like per or each, that's probably going to be that's where your variable is going to go. How many rides can she go on? She can go on X rides, but each one costs 0.8. We only know money. So we have to think about what has to be less. Well, she can't spend more than 25. So 25 has to be more than that. But she could spend up to 25. So she has to spend, 25 has to be greater than or equal to what she's spending. Over here. Sorry. Unicorn. I can solve. So let's subtract 4 from both sides. So this side becomes 21. 21 is greater than or equal to 0.8x. To get x alone here, let's divide by 0.8. Okay, and I've already done this, but via use of a calculator. 21 divided by 0.8 is actually 26.25, I believe. 26.25. And now let's flip that around so it's easier to look at. X is less than or equal to 26.25. Now, that's fine, but let's, in context of how much money she can spend on the ride. If Kelly has only $25 to spend, how many rides can she go on? She can only go on 26. She can't go on 27. She can go on 26 or less rides. Kelly can go on 26 or less rides. Now, why is that important? Why is it not 27? Because that's more than 26. The reason is because that was not a whole number. It's the closest whole number to it. And even if it was like 26.75, you wouldn't round up because you didn't have enough money to make that 27th ride. You basically have 26 rides and you got halfway to the next ride. Basically 26 rides and you've got 0.25 of 80 cents left over. You've got 20 cents left over. So another way to think about that is 26 times 0.8 is, I believe that is 220.6, 20.8, $20.80. Okay, so basically she's spent $20.80. She already spent $4, so she's only working with the 21 here. So she can spend $20.80, and that covers all the cost of the rides. She has 20 cents left over. That's not enough to go on a 27th ride. But let's be honest, 26 rides is enough. Again, similar problem, different thing. Grace is going to a bookstore. And just so you know that you did it right, the answer is 4. Grace can buy, I don't want to write all that. 4. You figure out the context. 4. She can buy 4. Last one by the master. Theo wants to join a gym, so he calls 2 gyms and given 2 different payment plans. We got this one over here from Gym A, we got this one over here, Gym B. And this is something you should do. He is going to compare them. He wants to know, so how many months can I be at this gym before Gym A is less expensive than Gym B? And the reason he knows one of them will be less expensive is because this is less per month than that. So he wants to know if it's worth it. Well, maybe I just want to lose 5 pounds. I'm going to be at the gym for 2 months. Is it worth it to pay the more for the new membership fee over here, or should I just go to Gym B? So Gym A is $100 to get in, plus $35 per month. Remember, you see that word per, or you ever see the word per or each or something, you know that's going to be multiplied by an X. That's the variable. It's the number of months that you're there. And we want to know when Gym A is less expensive, so less than Gym B. Gym B is $75 to get in, plus $40 per month. Let's solve this sucker. Let's get the variables on one side and the numbers on the other. So I don't mind. Let's subtract 40 from X. 40x from both sides. I get 100. 35 minus 40 is negative 5. Minus 5x is less than 75. Let's subtract 100 from both sides. I get negative 5x is less than negative 25. And let's divide by negative 5 to finish. I get x is something 5, and you should have a red alert. I just divided by a negative number, so my inequality must turn the other direction. Right? X is greater than 5, and remember, if we divide by a negative number, if we multiply by a negative number, the inequality flips, goes back and forth. So X is greater than 5. What that means is that he has to go in more than 5 months. Gym A will be less expensive in more than 5 months. You can't say in 5 months. You can't say in 5 months because this isn't an equal. But in more than 5 months, just basically what does this say? X is more than 5. So X represented months, the months has to be more than 5. So 6 or higher. 6 months, yeah, Gym A is cheaper. 18 months, yeah, Gym A is very much cheaper. So and so forth. So got that says C. That says is. No, is not yes. Dog kennels, figure out a similar problem. The answer is 4 days. And I'm going to tell you a secret. I can figure out the answer to these, to this and this, just by looking at this and kind of doing some math in my head. I will give a 1% badge if anybody can come in here and tell me exactly how I did it without doing the inequalities and stuff. You still have to do the inequalities. I just want to know if you can see how you can pick out. I can look at this and this and this and this and say, okay, it's going to take 5. But anyways, I'm going to stop the video. Have a nice day and enjoy